Welcome to the Patricia Joe Grover Show, where we turn believers into achievers. And today, my guest is Shannon Mackey. And I wanted to make sure I get this right because I hate it when people mispronounce my name, So it's really important because those connections are it's what it's all about. So let me tell you a little bit about Shannon because her business is marketing with love, and in today's society we need all the love and positivity that we can get. So since 1999, Shannon Mackey has served as a CEO and chief cheerleader of the Roadside Dental Marketing, and she lectures and teaches elite dentists nationwide on how to implement simple step-by-step marketing strategies that result in increased new patient and referrals and rankings. Her abundant mindset of out-of-the-box thinking led her to help launch two leading cosmetic continuing education courses. Wow, okay. But Shannon doesn't have one business to run. Among COVID-19, her two millennial children and herself launched Hip Cat Society, giving away all the tools and secrets to small businesses to market from the heart and to grow their businesses while serving their customers. She calls it marketing with love, and the message is spreading like wildfire. And boy, don't we need all that right
Yes.
now. Yes, Shannon, so glad to have you with us because, yeah, so many entrepreneurs and solopreneurs right now have been struggling. And, how many times have you heard, I've had to pivot, I've had to pivot, I have
Yep.
had to pivot? It's a constant thing. And, you know, it's very, very important to have you here with us today to get that message out. Um, so,
Well, thank you for having me. I'm
yes,
very excited to be here.
yeah, wonderful. So you founded and you're the visionary here, and
Yes.
that's an exciting title because ah,
Yeah.
wonderful. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know what, Patty? I have an interesting story because I think why I'm connecting so quickly with so many small business owners and entrepreneurs in the state that we're in and people really pivoting, but then finding their passion, finding what they really want to be doing outside of what they were doing just to pay the bills, which I think we're all going to grow from and that we needed. Our planet
Yes,
needed it. We needed it. We needed this pause. Looking at the gifts and blessings to where we're at right now, right?
yes.
That being said, that's all like fancy and nice, but I'll tell you something. I had a couple big aha moments to get me to where I'm at right now, to be able to be of service before and talking about what you're doing, as a mentor for, strategy and goal and everything that's I wouldn't be where I am without my coaches. Like
Right.
if anybody's thinking about it, please, get the right mentor for yourself and coach. And Patricia Joe Grover is like a good one for the goal and strategy and stuff like that, but it's really needed.
Thank you.
Um, that being said, so I was this marketing guru for since 1999, before Google was even a verb, girl, for quite some time. So over 20 years. So I'm in this, and my niche was dentistry because that's where I came from. And our company was like basically referral based. We were just really known. We just grew. We have, 40 employees, yada yada. But what I found out is, when Google started making all the changes, their animal updates, for search engines because they wanted to be first. So 2011, they kind of started putting their boxing gloves on 2013 to be like, listen, if you want to be on page one, you have to show us real company stuff. You can't just set it and forget it, right?
Right, right, right,
You remember those updates. And so I'm like, this is super cool because when I search for something, I want to find what I'm looking for,
right.
right? I don't want JC Penney's to come up for everything you're searching for. That doesn't do anybody any good. So my passion, like, and my personality type is an innovator. So like revolutionary and unorthodox and think outside the box. And I'm like, ooh, let's give all the tools that these dentists need, because we can't go into their practice and click a picture with them and their patient every day, right?
Right.
So we're like, here's a video how to do it. This is the latest. The marketing's constantly changing. So we're staying up on that and giving them these like Mad Lib, fill in, this is how you blog, this is how you vlog. And the 20% that would actually take us up on it, they were rock stars. Like now they have at least 10 to 12 practices. They got it down, that sort of thing. But a lot of dentists are like, I'm a dentist and I
Right.
have gotten my education and I want to wear my white coat. I don't want to be real with people, and I don't want to say people don't like the dentist, because most people don't really love it, you know? And
Right.
I'm a
Right.
customer. I
Right. Right.
perfect smile because of them. So I believe in them, but it's not the funnest thing that we can do, right? And we're trying to tell people, go do that. So we've created this beautiful system. So, Patty, what happens when you're an expert in this? It's like all your friends and family come. You're like, I know I'm not a dentist, but how do I market my company and how do I do this? And the ones that we would just give, like the DIY, here, it's the same for everybody. Just ignore the dentist part of it and go do it.
Okay.
Go do. Okay?
Yeah.
So they did. And they were so excited, and they got their little businesses. I mean, we're going to showcase some of them. I mean, my friend like started her own line, Evolved by Hair, started teaching hair. Like she just blew up. Like these people that are like, oh, I get it, and I feel empowered to do it. That's great, because I get on the phone a little bit. Like we also have a little bit of do it with you so you don't get stuck. That sort of thing, kind of in helping them. So our big epiphany was Hip Cat Society. Was like, let's do this for the entrepreneurs. Let's do this for the small businesses that can afford it, right? They can only afford what they can afford. And um, the biggest question is if I have a little bit of time and a little bit of money, what do I do?
Right.
Oh, well, that's a
Right.
great question, right? Okay, well, I'm going to back up from there a little bit. So
Yeah.
that was like my first aha, was like, we need to give this to the world. And this, we've been working on this for 4 years. So COVID has made us, instead of running along your bike on your, alongside your
Right.
bike, it made us get up on that bicycle and go, right?
Right. Right.
So we are going. It's like amazing. But here's another huge aha moment is, I'm a marketing person and I'm launching this company and I've been teaching it and doing it. But when I was asked by my team, okay, what is our brand? What's our messaging? What's our unique value proposition? You will not believe it. I was stumped. It's not stumped. It was more like my emotions got in the way. My ego got in the way. It had to be perfect. I was kind of like visualizing somebody else. I wasn't visualizing Shannon and like
Oh.
how we were serving.
Right.
I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being authentic. I was like, oh, okay, now people put fur on the back of their chair and they do this, and I need to look like that. And it's just not who I am. I'm a
Right.
tomboy. I have to talk myself into putting on makeup. I like to be out there and go do, and so um it was a big eye opener to me in doing a personality test. I mean, I've done DISC, I've
Right.
done, all these other ones, but I don't know if you've ever heard of Sally Hodgehead.
Hmm.
Hodgehead,
I.
Hoghead. I'll send you a thing.
Right.
I mean, most people can know, like, if you say, what are your 5 adjectives? How the world sees you, not how you see the world.
Right. Right.
It's different, right?
Right. Right.
So I'm 52. Well, no, November, yeah, I'll be 52. And I was just like, it just like, I took her little test and she gave me the adjectives, and I'm like, that is what I am. That is an it literally, Patty, gave me such confidence that I'm like, how can I
Wonderful.
break this down to build up everybody's brand so they can have that confidence, because then they need to know their edge.
Right.
They need to leverage it. And so, I mean, for the past 6 months, I've been meeting with, going to the Tony Robbins, and I'm in, Dean Gracia. I mean, all these leaders that we've always been in with,
Right.
what they're teaching. I'm like, I need to like bring this down to simplify it so
Mm-hmm.
people can get it quickly and they can afford it.
Right.
And really know, if you know who you are and you're coaching and dealing with people with
Right.
goals and strategy,
Exactly.
right? Then they can do it. And here's the thing is once you know yourself and then you love yourself, you're like, okay, I don't have to be perfect. You
Exactly.
know, people, there's an audience for me, imperfect
Mm-hmm.
Shannon. Like, that's what we're doing here,
Right.
people. That's what people need. That
Right.
connection is, and then their brand is so easy for them to go. I mean, once we have like their formula and they're like, okay, it's right in front of them. These are their adjectives. Always make their
Yeah.
content. Say this and stuff. So when they do little things, it's going to resonate so much higher to the best vibration.
Right. Just like I choose, Shannon. I choose to live my life, and I say PJG style, Patricia Joe Grover, purposefully, joyfully, and gratefully.
I
That to
love it.
me, that's
Yes.
that's my perfect trifecta. If you take those things and
Yes.
that's where the circle connects in that middle, I am at that much peace, and
Yep.
that's my bliss spot. That's my serenity now. That's
I
what it
love
is.
it. It is, and you know what?
Right.
Everybody needs that. And people are so intimidated by marketing, right? Like, and okay, so we have everybody having their geniuses, and then they come up like, okay, we need a tagline, or I need to figure out Facebook ads, and it's just like then they bury their head in the sand, and
Yes.
then it affects their other work,
Yes.
but they
Yep.
know that they're not doing that. So to be able to know themselves so easily and find their adjectives and find their leverage means everything to me because I was so stuck. I mean,
Right.
4 months, I made every excuse possible not to start a podcast, not to do this. I'm like, I need to redecorate. I need to lose 5 pounds. Like my daughter laughs and she will tell you the dirt, man.
Yep.
She's my
Yep.
co-host.
Yep.
But you stall out, and then
Right.
you don't do your goals. Then you're not
Exactly.
sticking with your strategy. And so, if you can have a team that's like giving you resources, and we 100% like go to our website and go on our blog, you will like get four of the most amazing resources you can get there. Like, we really truly believe in
Right.
giving.
So fantastic. So I hope the viewers that are listening, really take Shannon up on, this stuff and check out what they have to offer, because right now, if you are a solopreneur, entrepreneur, or
Uh,
small business that is struggling and and you want to start, and right now I'm telling everybody, right now is the best time to be putting a plan in place to
yes.
have a win for 2021, because
Yep.
after this year we all need it, every single one of us. And if somebody's lying, or if they're saying, hey, I don't need to have anything be any better, they're full of bullpucky.
Bull
You're
pucky.
right. Exactly.
I'm and interesting when you're looking like I did an economy check with like how things are going to play out and that sort of thing, and all of the experts are like, oh man, we're 9 to 24 months out from even knowing what the next normal is, honestly.
Right.
But we do know, even Mark Cuban, all those guys, they're just like, it is the small business owner, it is the entrepreneurs that are going to bring our economy back. So
Exactly.
when you talk about having a soul based business, a heart based business, marketing with love. And why we went down that path is like, how do you want to be marketed to? You
Right.
know,
I don't want to be sold
do you want to
to.
be spammed?
No.
Do you want to? I'm like, no, share your story. And if I connect to it, I'll get to it. Like, I'll get to your services. The people around me will get to your services. That's
Exactly.
just what happens now so much. So that's where we have to raise our vibration. Because if you're stuck right now and your business isn't going, your vibration isn't high enough.
Right.
You're not having enough confidence. Whereas if you're organized, if you're doing small little goals, and that is a big thing that helped me succeed, is exactly what you're teaching.
Right.
Is even if it's put your shoes by your bed to work out, but you don't work out that day, but you did it, and you said, "Yay, that's what I promised myself," and you
Yeah.
move up, up, up.
Exactly.
Yeah, otherwise you're not going, because you really don't believe that you're going to be doing this, and you have to
Exactly.
believe in yourself first, and
Exactly.
connect and build people around you that can support you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And believe in that.
100%. 100% agree. We
Yeah.
really, you have to have that. people with a positive mindset. And that's also not just in your personal life, but in your business life too.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. I mean, don't you see people wanting to connect so much more on like in this COVID? It's like, so build, I mean, you have to have a media channel, build your media channel, but build a network and connect with other people's network. Like, don't just like I don't want to just do your show, Patricia. I'm like,
Exactly.
hey, how can we help your people? Like, really? Like, go
Exactly.
and do that. Become a part of that. And when you're doing business, don't go, who can I sell to? Who can I sell to? You say, how can I serve? How can I be generous? How can I connect?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And networking to in general, it's all about how, growing that know, like, and trust. If they
Yes.
have to be able to know, like, and trust you to confidently be able to refer you to for anything,
Yeah.
and when they can do that and that connection is made, that's so much more solid than taking those business cards and spraying and praying, you know. you
Yeah.
know just
Gone are those days,
gone it
girl.
right, exactly, and those
Yeah.
those situations. So yes, and I'm finding with since COVID and me being involved with more organizations that I have reached out to and have been working with, that I'm making international connections, because
Hmm.
everybody needs to have and see and um, know, because I teach people, they are worthy and they are
Yeah.
capable, and that's what it's all about. And sometimes you have to step back and go back to the very, very, very basics. And some people are like, oh, because this is a day of it's here, it's
It's
here, society. But the thing is,
yeah.
sometimes you're
I
further ahead
that
if you step back.
that resonates so strongly with me because that's honestly what I had to do.
Right.
I had to step back. It's like, "Oh, I'm marketing and I'm 20 years and blah 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 and I got all this stuff." And then I'm like, I was so humbled. I'm like, "No, everybody's going through this. Like, how can we feed their soul first and then they can have soul-based marketing?" Honestly,
Right.
right? It resonates like that. And even stepping back for brand and stuff, so many people can get stuck from the past, like, this is how we do it, and my brand is fine and my logo is fine and I resonate. And it's like, you're not resonating. Like, what do people like? Let's do a survey. Let's do, like, there's some really creative things that we can do to hear back from the audiences, right?
Right.
To see that so they can restructure, they can rebrand, because they want to speak to the future, not the past. The past is so gone. And so I'm talking
Yep.
to small business owners that have had somewhat of some success, to take it into this, global pandemic and beyond, and to be one of the thrivers, and that helps us elevate our humanity. And
Exactly.
obviously there needs to be a change, is looking at everything. Let's break it apart and let's really answer those questions and build your brand to where
Exactly.
it could last, right?
Exactly. And for me, what I do with people, Shannon, and in the connection, I'm seeing the connection more now with what you guys do and what I do too, is because for me to help somebody, to be able to reach their dreams and goals, we have to know where they're starting from to help them know
Yeah.
how they're going to get where they want to be. And finding out where they are, sometimes that's the hardest part. And
Yeah.
accepting, okay, well, this is what that is. And it's tough, and sometimes it's very emotional, and it's rough to take.
Yeah.
It's rough to take. But that's the same way with us in our own businesses. I know myself, like, I want to hear if there's ideas and suggestions people can bring to me to say, hey, you might be able to move further and touch. And that's the thing. It's for me, it's as many people's lives as I can help, touch in a positive way to get them to where they want to be. Because you and I had the conversation before. Isn't it fantastic when I get these messages saying, oh, Patty, thank you for, just watch something I just watched of yours and it just clicked with me. And,
Yeah.
your book, and I used it as a tool. You wrote it to be. And,
Yeah.
and when I get messages like that, it's like, oh, that's that priceless thing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And like when you're there supporting those people along with that, there's nothing more. And I think that's where we resonate together too, because you're you're walking your talk. Like you're
Yeah.
such a soul-based, service-based,
Yeah.
business that's where we're coming in at. Like
Right.
we need to teach people how to do that to really market well.
Right.
It's not about the strategy. I mean, we have that. I have 40 experts that can do funnels for you and ads, and we got all that. And we also have it to where they just step in when needed, so it's affordable. It's like because like even when you're talking about coming into where is that person at? If they have a website and they're doing this, great.
Right.
You have a foundation. Now let's just do this. Now let's like come into where you're at. Everybody's on their own journey, marketing, business, mentally, and it's I used to say 80% of it is mindset for business. It's really 100% because if we don't have that squared away and our support system squared away, you're not going to be able to last out and run a successful business. So find your partners.
Right. And again, so that's what exactly what you're saying. So I help people from the whole from dreaming, okay, from that whole dream and envisioning it,
Yeah.
because I teach sensory vision is one of the things I teach. But it's in and what I do is with life and business. I don't go the in depth in business like that I would send people to you guys for because of that, but the whole thing, the premise is still the same.
Hmm.
You have to have those things in place and those
Hmm.
plans in place, and you have to work those plans so that you can know. And we all have measurables, you
Yeah.
do with your work, I do with my work, and those measurables that we keep track of so that we know, hey, if things start coming off track a little bit, we get back on track. Because and I teach people, we all have to have budgets. We have budgets of our time, our money, and our energy,
Yeah.
you know
That's so true.
and we
I
have
love that.
yeah, and we have to have those, and those are measurables. So and when I talk about having planning days, have a weekly planning day, have your monthly and your quarterly and your yearly. Well, that's the same thing with what you have to do for marketing,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
people don't
absolutely.
think
We
about that.
teach the same thing marketing wise. Absolutely.
Yeah. So fantastic. So let me go on because we could talk about this all day because it's
I know.
fantastic. But so but
Yeah,
so
so
but
fun.
so but after crushing the pizza industry, what was your next career move? And we didn't find out about the pizza
No,
crushing
I kind of
industry
didn't. I
yet.
didn't go, but I didn't go
Ah,
that far back. It was. I mean, it, that's kind of a funny story. It's like kind of like the self. Um, like you're finding yourself. Like I was saying at 52, I'm like, oh, this is how the world sees me. I'm this and this and this. Kind of my origin story is. My mom left me and my little brother and my father when I was 13
oh,
for um gosh, what is it? Rock and roll, sex,
oh,
drugs, rock and roll,
yeah,
like that kind of
yeah.
life, right? Okay, so in working through like putting my dad in AA and he was getting better, it's like I started in this pizza joint. It's called Alfie's Take and Bake Pizza, and it was the first take and bake, like back
Uh,
in the day. We're like going
yeah.
way, way back by that question, and I was just like started kind of managing it at 16, and I'm like, this is super cool. And my dad had pulled his life together. I'm like, you need to, get one of these pizza joints. So I'm 16 in DECA, starting this company for my dad and get it going, right? I even have a awesome picture of me on top of his pizza bug, Alfie's pizza bug, doing the parade and all that kind of fun stuff. But then fast forward, I went into the dental industry as an assistant. Every practice I went into, I was the dental assistant, right? I loved it. It was clinical. I was hands on. I love surgery. But I'm like, well, you guys want to be a cosmetic dentist, you're a tooth and a heart, and this and that. Like I like went in and revamped their marketing wherever I went. And then it was just like 6 years later, I'm like, oh, I really love marketing. Like then I became the marketing expert in the dental field. It's like,
Yeah.
but you're starting to figure out, and I would say that this story kind of would resonate with someone trying to figure out what their passion is right now.
Right.
Like they might be in a job right now that they did college for, or their dad did, or something. But we've talked to so many people are like, is that really what I want to be doing? Or kind of like a, midlife thing, like, okay, this isn't what my life is about, right? Really going back and looking at your stories on how the world saw you with these adjectives, what you were really good at, and that'll help you find your passion. If you're not set yet, it's really looking, because you kind of just take it for advantage. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I always did. And see, I was a service provider because when you're in an alcoholic home, I was the kid that
Yeah.
got straight A's, and I kept the house, and I made sure everybody was happy. If I just cleaned, everything would be good. And I serviced everybody all the time.
And that was the only thing you had control over.
That's it.
Right. You know,
That's it.
but it's what kept you together, but it also gave you that so much strength in that area that
It No, 100%. It's like, because there's times that like your strengths can be your weaknesses.
mm-hmm,
It's like and to be honest, looking at you like as a coach, when someone is figuring these things out, it is really nice to have a coach, because then you walk through, you're like, you get these epiphanies in talking through it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, wow, I have so much value. And I'm not bragging, but I've always been of service, and I've always loved marketing,
right.
and so that's my passion, and that's how I want to share it. And then when you're looking at the globe right now with these entrepreneurs like really struggling, I'm like, okay, now's the time. I'm getting on this bicycle and we are doing this. I mean, we're so committed to that and helping out that, man, it's driven such passion and fun, and every day is not perfect, and it can't be, but almost every day is. It's like, because it's like how you look at it, just like you said,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly. Well, so fantastic, and thanks for sharing that part of that story, because again, that's what the Patricia Joe Grover show is all about. We turn believers into achievers, and people have to believe in themselves. That's where it all
Right.
starts. That's where it all starts. They have to believe that they're worthy, and they have to believe that they're capable. And if they don't, we help change that around for them to look at life and look at things a little different way. So, and stories like this really make a difference.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
So who is HipCap Society and how was it born? You basically kind of explained that, but who's the who behind this?
Um, well, I ran our, roadside dental marketing with my husband, for all these years, and he is just retiring. And a lot of this is his brainchild. He's like the organized one. And I'm like, oh, the ideas girl, opposites attract and everything else. But he's retiring and stepping aside and wanting to go play his hang drum out on the beach. We live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, most of the
Ooh,
time.
okay. I want to go on vacation. I know where I
Yeah.
want to go.
Yes, I will come spoil you rotten. I know all the places. We've been here for 10 years. Um, but so with that, with giving us the architecture and stuff with that, I have two millennial children that are like jumping into the family company. One adopted one that's a Brit, but he's part of our family. But it's so beautiful because they know what's the latest, and that buyer's journey, and they love it. They love the meditation, they love the higher vibration. Like my daughter, okay, listen to this one. My 21-year-old daughter drug me to a Joe Dispenza weekend course, like it's its first advanced. My daughter did. I don't know if
Awesome.
anybody's ever, if you haven't heard Joe Dispenza, he's
Awesome.
just brilliant with mind science and good vibrations and stuff like that. Well, I'm like, oh, what's this woo woo stuff,
Yay.
going on? And oh gosh, I'm such a
Yes.
believer. I just sat there. I didn't want to miss one thing. And now I'm obsessed with vibration and keeping yourself there, because you can serve yourself first, and then your family, your children. You keep yourself in the right space, like you said, even with your joy and everything.
Yes.
You have to get yourself there first to be able to be of service. And so yeah, she did that like 3 years ago, like changed, even like from abundance in business. I'm like, we got this, and our revenues just went like this. Just
Yes.
constant. I wasn't trying. I didn't want to say, "Oh, I want to be a millionaire," or "I want to do this."
No.
It was just like, I want to be of service. I want to be generous. And I love this feeling, and I want to teach my team. My team is so happy. They're so much
Right.
happier. They love life. They love what they're doing. I love my team, like in my heart. So it just makes life
Yeah.
so much better, right? So yeah,
Yes.
there is that, like, where you hit one point, and I think mindset and being that is such a big thing,
Hmm.
where that's HipCat. HipCat is, we cover the bases, but we're there for you. We go over mindset. We're building, people that need a website, come to us. If you have one, we'll help you fix it up, or if it's good, then let's go to the next level of
To
making
get
sure
that
your brand.
feel, right? To get that feel and that
Yes.
whole connection. Right.
And yeah, it's like you have to have a foundation, and then how do you know what media hub to do? Like, let's say you're really good at Facebook lives, but you haven't tried, you know vlogging, and I'm like, oh, you got this set up, and we have all of these teaching modules, like 3 to 5 minute videos, just really bite sized, like, just do this today, just do this week, like one thing, just like you said.
Yeah.
It's exactly like what
Right.
you just
Right.
said. Do this one thing, and then, okay, now when you get to this point, let's go to the next thing. And then
Exactly.
and then you get the momentum, and then it's all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I'm doing it."
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So how do you eat an elephant? One bite
Yes.
at a time. And
Amen.
and so what I say is I'm a Grammy. I don't knit. I cliche. And what I mean by I cliche is that all these old proverbs and stuff, they are around for a reason, because they there's meaning to
Yes.
them. So
Yes. Yes.
how hard is it when you start pushing a boulder to get it up a hill? The hardest part is that getting it going. Once you get things moving, keep it moving. And that's the thing. If you stop, getting it going back again is really difficult. So
100%.
right, and it's all true. All I've taken is everyday life things and brought them into a way that people can utilize them, understand them, to be able to make a difference, a positive difference in their lives.
Exactly. I love that so much.
Yeah.
100% true.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. So
Yeah.
fantastic. So you kind of basically all covered all this for us. So
Yeah.
what marketing in with love is all about. So what Shannon, what do you have for a gift maybe for our viewers and listeners today?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so for everybody, I have three, like, downloads that I can email you. We're putting it up on a resource page right now. I don't have it up yet, but email me personally. It's Shannon with two N's at hipcatsociety.com. Because, Google always like, oh, you have to be popular. People need to like, love you, share, so you have to be a
Yep.
hip cat to, like,
Hip
for people
cat.
to find you at.
Hip cat. I love it. I love it.
I know. So it's like, even my millennials didn't poo poo it down for me when I came up with that name. So they came up with society because we're really building up resources and a network and a group of people that we always want to support. And if we aren't experts in what they need, we're building up resources. It's going to be amazing. Check back to the website. Give me 2 more weeks. We're making videos on everything, like from setup to LLC to register to, like, the nitty gritty stuff to chat groups to, I mean, everything that you might need, just one little piece. It's going to be on our resource page. So
Fantastic.
write that down for that. But email me at Shannon at HipCat, and I will send you 3 downloads that are really good for. It's a beautiful graph of energy and, like, checking yourself. My kids use it, my team uses it, and it shows when you're in low energy, just a reminder, and then higher energy, how to get there. There's one on UVP, on really finding yourself, and then what you need to do to talk to your target audience, different questions. The more powerful and different questions that we can ask, and you'll find that through our brand formula, we say it differently. It's not like, oh, what makes you most unique? It's like, you know what, who do you serve, what pisses them off, like, how are you going to do something about that? It's like
Exactly.
every step of the way we're just making people think differently, like, oh, okay, yeah, like when you're drinking beers with friends and you're gonna chat differently than all like clinical and on a
Right.
survey, and no one talks like that.
Right.
Write your website,
Yeah, it's
write your
all real
copy,
life. It's
do your
all real life.
videos, be real, man. Be yourself, and who that is, and oh my gosh, everybody will be for the better if we can all do that. And that's our
Exactly.
goal. Come visit
Exactly.
us on our website. Email
Yay.
me if you want some goodies. I will send it to you
Oh,
personally,
fantastic.
Patty.
Fantastic. Hey, hey, yeah, I'll take it. Again, it's all coming from that place of service and making that
Yes.
difference for everybody. So for all my viewers and listeners, hey, get a hold of Shannon. We'll be sharing in when you know, down below the information for you
Yes.
to be able to reach out, because we want to make 2021 the best year yet
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes.
and
Yes.
and and
Yes.
I and I give assignments, and my assignment to you is start planning. So start taking everything that you can get from Shannon to put together your plan for your life and for your business to get the most out of it for 2021. So thanks for being
I
with us.
love it. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
there. And I'll see you next time. And you can find out more about me at patriciajogrover.com. And again, this is where we turn believers into achievers. Have a great day.